everyone, welcome back to the USA Pan Kitchen. I'm Nikki, and today we have a very special recipe for you all. It takes a little time and maybe more effort and planning than what we normally do, but with the holidays approaching, this is a really good one to keep in your back pocket to wow some overnight guests or to have for that special morning. We're gonna be doing cinnamon rolls in our 9x13 USA Pan, and like I said, these can take a little bit of work, but with some planning, we can make these ahead also, and I will show you how. So to get started here, I have a cup of warm milk that is just lukewarm. You don't want this too hot. If it's over a certain temperature, you're gonna kill the yeast. So just make sure it feels comfortably warm. And then I have a half a tablespoon of instant yeast that I'm gonna go ahead and dump in here. And then I'm just gonna whisk it together. And I'm gonna let this sit for a few minutes just to become a little bit foamy and bubbly. Okay, now that we've let our milk and yeast mixture get a little bit foamy, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to add a half a cup of flour. This is 3 cups of flour we're using for the entire recipe. I'm going to take a half a cup of this and 2 tablespoons of sugar, and I'm going to mix it with this milk and yeast mixture. I'm going to put it in my bowl, cover it, and we're going to let that set for about 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, so we've let the beginnings of our dough, we've let it sit until it's puffy. So you can see it's puffed up a little bit here, and now we're gonna go ahead and complete our dough. To this, I'm going to whisk in 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of melted butter. We've got 2 tablespoons of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna whisk this together. Now to this, I'm going to add our remaining 2.5 cups of flour. I'm gonna add it gradually and stir it as I add it. If you wanted to do this in your stand mixer, you can certainly do that, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it by hand. I'm just gonna add about a half a cup at a time and stir that together. Once it starts getting a little stiffer, I go in with my hand and just get those dry bits of flour mixed in and kind of knead the dough a bit. Okay, so after I've kneaded the dough for a few minutes, you can see here, it's a little bit shaggy but smooth. We're gonna cover this and let it rise in a warm place for about an hour. You want this to double in size. You don't want it to be too hot, but if your kitchen does run a little cooler, you might wanna put this in just like a nice warm cozy spot to rise. Sometimes I put mine in my oven with the oven light on, that works, but just so it's kind of warm, so you want this to double in size. Okay, so our dough has been rising for a little over an hour, and as you can see, it's about double in size from what it was before. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flour my countertop and I'm gonna roll that out. What I'm looking for is about a 17 by 10 rectangle. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what we're going for. So I'm just gonna flour up my surface here. Now that I have my dough rolled out, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and we have 6 tablespoons of really soft butter that I'm gonna spread all over the top here. Now that we have the butter spread on here, I have here a 1/4 cup of sugar mixed with 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and we're just gonna spread this all around the top here. So we have our filling in there. Now we're gonna roll this up, starting on the long side, and just roll it up. You don't want it too tight, but you also don't want it loose. All right, now that I have it rolled up, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this into pieces. We're gonna do 12 pieces. I have some wire here that I'm gonna use to cut it. Don't worry, I cleaned it. You can use a sharp knife if you have it. I just find that wire, or if you have dental floss, plain dental floss, it helps to cut the dough without it smushing too much. So I'm just gonna go here and cut this in half. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut it into 4ths. And then now with our 4 pieces, we're gonna divide each of these pieces into 3rds. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you this. So there's our cinnamon roll. We're gonna go ahead and put it in our USA Pan. This is our 9x13 pan. We're gonna put those cut side down in here. So we have our rolls in our 9x13 pan, just like this. So at this point, what you can either do is you can cover them and let them rise for about an hour until they're nice and puffy. Or what's great about this is you could cover them, put them in the refrigerator, and bake them off in the morning. So this is perfect for those special holiday occasions where you want a special breakfast, but you don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. to do it. You can put these in your fridge, and then about an hour and a half before you're going to bake them, pull them out of the refrigerator and let them, let them warm up and rise on your countertop. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap these up, and I have some that are already rising, and then I'll show you what the next step is. Okay, so now we're going to move on to making the frosting. Okay, so we have our cinnamon rolls here, and you can see how they've gotten so puffy. Whether or not you put them in the refrigerator or let them rise on the countertop, this is what you're looking for after the second rise of these. And I have here just a couple tablespoons of butter, and I'm gonna brush the tops with the butter. Now we're gonna go ahead and put these in a 350-degree oven for 22 to 24 minutes until they're light golden brown. Okay, so we baked our cinnamon rolls for 24 minutes. They are a light golden brown, just perfect. I've let them cool here in the pan for about 15 minutes. And now I have this cream cheese frosting that we made, and I'm just gonna go ahead and frost them. Okay, so we've frosted our cinnamon rolls, and these are good to go. Like I said, this does take a little extra planning or effort, but they're definitely well worth it for that special occasion, that special holiday, or whatever you're celebrating. Give these a try, especially if you use the make ahead method. It makes it so much easier. If you try these recipes or any of our recipes, please let us know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe and like and follow us on our social media pages for more recipes and videos. Thank you for joining us.